Summer's almost here, and if credit card debt is stressing you out, I've got just the thing for you. I'm hosting a brand new masterclass called How to Get Out of Debt Without Giving Up Your Summer Vacation. This class is for women who make good money but feel stuck in the cycle of credit card debt. During this class, I'll walk you through the real reason you keep running your credit cards back up, how to get out of debt and stay out, the common quick fixes to avoid so that you don't end up in even more debt down the line, and a simple step-by-step process to pay off debt without feeling deprived. I'll also be sharing all the details about Own Your Wealth, my brand new private coaching experience. This is my 12-month mentorship where we work together one-on-one to clean up your finances by getting control of your spending, paying off high-interest debt, growing your savings, and investing at a higher level. You have 2 dates to choose from: Sunday, June 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Monday, June 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can sign up now at jermainefoley.com/debt. That's Jermaine with a G, Foley.com/debt, or simply click the link in the show notes to sign up. It's totally free, and I'd love to see you there. Let's get back to the episode. You are listening to the Becoming the Wealthy You podcast with Jermaine Foley. If you're a woman who makes good money in your career or business, but you're not building wealth like you want to, then you're in the right place. In this podcast, you'll learn how to stop overspending, break free from the cycle of debt, save lots of cash, and become the wealthy woman you were born to be. Let's dive in. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we are talking about a term or an acronym you may have never heard of before, or maybe you have. That acronym is HENRY. HENRY stands for High Earner, Not Rich Yet. And today we're going to talk about why so many successful, hardworking women find themselves in this position and what to do about it. Before we dive in, I want to invite you to something special. I am hosting a brand new free masterclass called How to Get Out of Debt Without Giving Up Your Summer Vacation, because yes, it is possible to stop the cycle of debt without canceling your travel plans or giving up the fun you have on the books, okay? I'll show you how to make real progress with your money this summer without feeling restricted or stuck. There will be 2 classes for you to choose from. The first one will be on Sunday, June 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the second one will be on Monday, June 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can sign up by going to the show notes or by visiting jermainefoley.com/debt. That's Jermaine with a G, Foley.com/debt. Now, there will be 2 classes, but the exact same content will be shared during each class. So pick the time and the day that works best for you. I just wanted to give you options just in case one of those dates and times did not work for your schedule. Okay, so let's get into this acronym, HENRY, right? Remember, it stands for High Earner, Not Rich Yet. This is a term that is used in financial circles and even in marketing to describe people. Now, these people are often millennials and Gen Xers who earn a high income. So typically between $100K a year and $250K or more. But these people, despite earning this really good money, they don't feel financially secure or wealthy. And this is because they are living paycheck to paycheck or close to it. They carry high credit card debt or student loan debt. They have limited savings or investments. They spend heavily on lifestyle and experiences, and they delay or under-prioritize wealth building. This concept really helps explain why a high income doesn't necessarily equal wealth and why so many high-earning people still feel financially stuck. You all, this is real. And remember, I said that this term is used in financial circles and in marketing. Believe me when I tell you this, marketers heavily target those who are in this Henry group because they know that they are spenders. They know that they are all about the look sometimes, the status, and they're willing to spend on luxuries and experiences, and they under prioritize wealth building. So that's where their money goes. It goes to a lot of things that are marketed to them. Now, let's look at some real numbers. So I did some research, and here's what I found. More than half of Americans earning over $100,000 a year live paycheck to paycheck. And a third of six-figure earners have less than $1,000 in savings. So we hear that stat a lot, right? It says that the average American don't have at least $1,000 in savings. Well, this one is going deeper into six-figure earners. So they're not looking at the average American. They're actually looking at people who earn six figures. And a lot of them, over a third, have less than $1,000 in savings. According to the site Smart Asset, 45% of people earning $150,000 or more say that they are stressed about money. And almost 1 in 3 six-figure households carry credit card debt from month to month. That means they're not using their cards and paying them off every month. They're actually carrying that debt from month to month, which means they're paying that high interest on those cards. And that stat was according to Bankrate. So if you ever looked at your paycheck and thought, why don't I have more to show for this? You're not imagining things. You could be a part of the growing group of high earners that are in the Henry. So let's break down the real reasons why this happens and 6 causes that I've seen in my coaching practice that cause people to be in this circle of people who are earning good money, but they're not building wealth. The first one, of course, you probably have already guessed, is overspending. This isn't about being irresponsible, though. It's about spending to cope. It could look like rewarding yourself for a hard week. It could be impulse buying when you're stressed out or just treating yourself. The truth is, spending is often emotional. And it doesn't matter how much you make. If you use spending to cope with life emotions, you will prevent yourself from building wealth. Here's what I really want you to know. Life is 50-50 when it comes to your emotions. You are not meant to be happy and comfortable and blissful all the time. That is not the human experience. And when we don't understand that, then we always try to get ourselves to a good feeling place. Sometimes it's okay to be bored. Sometimes it's okay to be sad. Sometimes it's okay to be frustrated, and you don't need to fix those things. There are other more productive ways to deal with those negative emotions. And what we do is we compound them. We make them worse when we spend over them, because spending really doesn't fix the emotion. It only temporarily numbs you out. It doesn't get rid of the underlying reason that you're bored, that you're stressed, that you're frustrated. And until you deal with those things, the boredom and the stress and the frustration is going to come back after the high of the buy wears off. So we must find alternative ways to deal with our negative emotions, because it is not your money's job to do that for you. It's not your money's job to make you feel better. That's your job. And this is why my coaching is so different than anything you've probably ever experienced before, because we don't just deal with the money. We also deal with the root causes of why your finances isn't where you want it to be. And a lot of times it has to do with this, the fact that you really don't know how to emotionally regulate yourself, and you've been relying on your money to do that. And because of that, you find yourself in this Henry circle. You're making the money, but you don't have it. And so getting control of your spending is going to definitely be one of the things that you can do to fix it. So just to give you a taste of what I work with my clients on when it comes to this, I really help them to wake up to their spending triggers. So do you go to the mall or to Target when you have nothing else to do? Is that just a habit for you? You want to really become aware of that, because that awareness is everything. When you can see, oh, when I don't have anything to do, if it's a Saturday, I don't have to work, I don't have anything on my schedule, I don't have any events to go to, and I'm bored, I find my way to the mall. And then when I'm at the mall, of course, you know what happens after that. In my private one-on-one coaching sessions, I help my clients identify these triggers. And sometimes we don't figure them out, we don't uncover them until something happens, right? They have a plan and then they go off the plan and we figure out, okay, why did you go off your plan? Well, I was hanging out at the mall on Saturday and I saw this thing and then I bought it. And then we can get deeper. Okay, so why did you go to the mall? Was there a reason why you went to the mall? Oh, I just didn't have anything to do. So now we know that when there's nothing on your schedule, that's a trigger for you. And we need to come up with a protocol or a plan of action that you're going to take when you don't have anything on your schedule. We're going to decide that ahead of time so that the next time you don't have anything, you don't find yourself at the mall buying things you weren't planning to buy, and then having remorse and regret for those decisions. So again, that's just the power of having someone like me who's a life coach, someone who's a certified life coach, and someone who is a certified financial education instructor. I bring together both worlds, the mindset and the financial strategy and the financial tools, so that you can get to the root cause of your issues and not just try to deal with surface level solutions. Another reason why you might find yourself in the Henry circle is because you have not embraced what I call the do both mindset. Many high earners haven't yet embraced the idea that they can build wealth and enjoy life at the same time. And really, it's not their fault, because most of what we're taught is that we have to choose. Either you're going to be responsible with your money or you're going to live to the fullest, right? But that is an all or nothing way of thinking, and it keeps us stuck in those extremes. The truth is the balance lives in the middle. You really want to be balanced and somewhere in the middle. So the do both mindset is all about getting clear on what building wealth looks like for you and what enjoying life means in this season, right? So this concept of doing both isn't about spending on any and everything and about doing all the financial things all at the same time. It is about choosing the financial goal you need to be working on right now. So for instance, if you have a lot of credit card debt and no savings, then the first thing we need to do is get you some savings, right? Get at least 1 month of expenses saved, right? And then let's go and tackle your debt. So those can be your goals. Like, first, let me get the savings goal hit, and then I'm going to start tackling my debt. So we're not trying to do everything financially. We're not trying to buy real estate and invest in the stock market and all the things, right? We're just trying to focus on the thing that is prioritized in the moment. So if you have a lot of debt and little savings, those two things should be prioritized. Now, of course, there are nuances, and if we're coaching together, we'll really get that clear for you. But that's a high-level view of what you could be working on if that's your case, right? Then let's look at the enjoying life side. Enjoying life isn't doing everything that is important to you. It's not going on vacations, buying nice clothes, buying nice handbags, giving to all the charities in the world. You're picking the thing that is most important in the season of life you're in, right? So you could have all these things that you want to be spending money on, but because of the season of life you're in, you've got to make a decision. So for me, I'm in a season of life where I'm prioritizing my children's education and experiences with them. So just to let you all know, I am eyeing a Chanel bag right now that is thousands of dollars, and I'm not buying it. Not that I don't have the money, but because I'm prioritizing other things in my life. I'm prioritizing my children's education and experiences with them. That is the season of life that we're in right now. And so that's what I'm prioritizing. Will I get the Chanel bag? Absolutely. It's happening, but it's just not going to happen right now. Now, someone else may be in a different season of life where maybe their kids are out of the house or they just don't have kids and they have no debt. They have plenty of savings. They have 10, 20, 30, $40,000 in saving based on what they need for their 6-month Life Happens fund. They're investing at a really high level, and they have a lot of discretionary income, and they want the same Chanel bag, and they can go get it tomorrow because they're in a different season of life. And they may not want to go get it tomorrow because maybe they have a big trip they want to take instead. So this is just an idea. This is not about restriction, but it's also not about overindulging either. So I just want to make sure you understand what that do both method is. It is not just buying and doing everything just because you feel like it in the moment. It's making choices and prioritizing things that are important to you based on the season of life that you're actually in. The third reason why you might be a Henry is lifestyle creep. If every time your income goes up, so does your expenses. You upgrade your car, take better vacations, you pick up the tab more often when you go out with your friends. You're living a more expensive life. But living a more expensive life doesn't necessarily mean it's a better life, especially if it's consuming your income. I like to think of the idea of seasons. You already heard me mention this. This concept really helps me to hone in spending and lifestyle creep. I often ask myself, what season of life am I in right now? What is the most important thing to me in this season? As I already mentioned, right now in this season, it's not the Chanel bag. It is experiences with my kids. I have a 20-year-old and an almost 18-year-old. I know I've got a few more years where family vacations are going to be a thing. And I want to create those memories with them. I want to make sure that I'm setting them up to not have student loans when they graduate from college. So that is my priority. That is the season of life that I'm in. Okay? And so I've got something for you. If you make good money, but overspending is keeping you stuck in the cycle of credit card debt with little to no savings, you're invited to book a financial clarity consultation with me, yours truly. This is for you if you're ready for real support, not just more free advice that can be found on Google or quick fixes that never really solve the problem. Let's be honest, you know what you should be doing, but you're not doing it. Not because you're undisciplined or bad with money, but because of patterns you were never taught to undo. But that's where I come in. A financial clarity consultation is a private session where we'll look at where you are, where you want to go, and what's standing in the way. And if we both agree that working together is the best next step, I'll tell you how we can move forward inside of my coaching program, the Wealthy Woman's Academy, which is private one-on-one coaching, just me, you, and your money. And if you're worried that getting your finances in order will mean giving up everything you love, don't. My philosophy is rooted in what I call the do both method. I believe you can build wealth and enjoy your life at the same time. That means yes, you can still vacation and say yes to things that matter. You'll leave this session with more clarity than you've had in a long time, plus real insight on what to do next to solve your money issues for good. If that sounds like what you've been needing, you're invited to go to jermainefoley.com/consult to book your session. That's Jermaine with a G, Foley.com/consult, or simply visit the show notes. Now let's jump back into the episode. What season of life are you in when it comes to what you want to be spending your money on? That is a question that we should always be asking ourselves, because that means that just because you tell yourself no today doesn't mean it's no forever. It's just no right now because of the season of life that I'm in. And when I think of it that way, I feel so liberated and free. And actually, I get joy from thinking about the things I'll be able to do in the future once I'm in a different season of my life. The fourth reason why you might be in Club Henry is because of debt reliance. This could be true if you're using credit cards to fill the gaps, right? It may start small, just covering things until payday, but then it just snowballs. And you might justify it by saying you'll pay off your credit cards when the bonus comes in or when things settle down. But if the habit and mindsets don't change, I promise you the debt will come back. I've been there, I've done that, and I work with my clients through it as well. Even 401k loans or home equity lines of credit become short-term fixes that create long-term setbacks. If debt is something that is stressing you out, then I want you to really make it a priority to attend my upcoming class, the one that is all about getting out of debt without giving up your summer vacation. Again, you can go to jermainefoley.com/debt to sign up or go to the show notes because I created that class just for you all who are struggling with debt. Maybe you've paid it off before and now it's creeping back up again, or no matter how hard you try, you just can't get rid of it. This class is for you. The fifth reason you might be a Henry is because you think that the answer to your money problems is just to make more money. This is one of the biggest myths out there. So many high earners think that the answer is just to earn more, get the next raise, take on the next opportunity. But here's what happens. You make more and nothing changes because the real issue was never your income. You already are doing amazing. That is not your problem. It is how you manage it that's the problem. So one of the things that I like to point out is that really there are 5 areas of your finances. If you want to build wealth, then these 5 areas need to be under control. Income is number 1. The women that I am speaking to right now, that I speak to on this podcast, income is not your problem, but the other 4 are. So the next piece of it is spending. This is where a lot of us get stuck because our spending is consuming our income, right? The next piece is debt, high interest credit card debt. The other piece is savings. We really want to have 10, 20, 30, maybe even 40K in a high yield savings account. And then investing. You want to be investing at a higher level as you go on and on. And as you get your spending under control, your savings under control, and your debt under control, then you set yourself up to be able to blow out your investments and really build long-lasting wealth. So that is what you really want to think about when it comes to your finances. And remember, making more is just one piece of the 5. And most of you are already making enough. You just got to work on the 3 in between income and investing, which is your spending, your savings, and your debt. That is what you want to be focusing on. And that is the work that I do with my clients. I get you set up so that investing is the thing that you do, and that is where you really build your wealth. But you have to get those other 3 under control, and you already have the income part under control. The final piece that might make you a Henry is using spending to show love and to celebrate. Now, this one can hit really deep. For a lot of women, spending becomes how we show love to our family and to our friends. Listen, we're generous people. We want to treat people. We want to show love to people. But when spending is the go-to way to connect or to celebrate, it starts to drain more than just our bank accounts. We need to find ways to express love, joy, and generosity that don't leave us feeling financially depleted. A lot of times we try to show love by gift giving and treating everyone out, right? You go out to dinner with your girlfriends, you picking up the tab every single time. You go out for happy hour and you're like, oh, I got it. And sometimes I think we do that out of obligation and guilt because we think, oh, well, I'm the successful one in the group or I make the most money, and you feel obligated. But no one has ever told you that. That is something you're saying to yourself. And I work with my clients on this a lot, right? That mindset of, I think I make more than everybody. You really don't know, but you're assuming. And because of that, you equate that you should be buying everything for everyone. And what that does is it depletes your income. And you end up in this Henry mode, right? You're high earning, not rich yet, and you look the part, but you aren't really building wealth like you could be. So you may be thinking, okay, Jermaine, I get it. I feel it. I'm a Henry. I know I'm a Henry. And I definitely see why. Maybe it's one or more of the things I just touched on. And you're just like, okay, how do I fix this? How do I get out of this Henry circle? This is not a club that I want to be a part of. Well, if that's you, here's what I want you to know. Making more money, we already said, is not the answer. Going on a really strict budget, again, is not the answer. Beating yourself up and talking down to yourself, telling yourself that you're bad with money, that you don't have any discipline or self-control, those are not the answers. Those things will actually make things worse. What you truly need to understand is that building wealth is a skill. I just did 10 or more episodes on the skills of money. You have to hone in the skills. You have to understand that you have never been taught the mindsets, the skills, and the tools that actually support your financial goals, your values, and the season of life that you're currently in. And I want you to know that it's never, ever, ever too late to learn these things. I can help you. I can help you in my private coaching program. I told you all about it in episode number 127. Go back to 127. Listen to how I've changed my coaching program. At this point, as of June 2025, I only offer private coaching where it's just you, me, and your money. You can book a consultation at jermainefoley.com/consult to get my support and my help. I can tell you exactly how I can help you in your particular situation during that consult, or sign up for the masterclass. Again, that's at jermainefoley.com/debt. During that masterclass, I'm going to walk you through the things you need to know to get out of debt and to stay out of debt. I'm also going to share more about my private coaching, mentorship, and tell you how you can get help inside of that. Really, you all, here's what I want to say. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while and you've been thinking about working with me, it's time to stop thinking, right? Because as soon as you say yes to yourself, that is when your transformation begins. Listening to the podcast is great. It's motivating. I hope you're getting some value from it. I'm hoping that you're actually doing a lot of the things I'm telling you to do. And if you want more, the first step is just saying, yes, I'm open to mentorship. I'm open to coaching. I want someone walking with me side by side to help me to get my finances together, to help me to stop overspending, to help me to get out of debt and stay out, to help me to save. One of my clients, I was just working with her when we started. I think she had a few thousand. She's at over 40,000 in her high yield savings account right now. We were just celebrating that just recently, right? All of her debt is gone. These are the results that you get when you work with someone who is a coach. Not only that, but I've been there. I've done it. And I would love to help you to do it too. So I hope this episode was helpful. I hope it opened up your eyes. And I hope that it helps you to see that where you are now is not where you have to stay. All right. I hope to see you soon in either the masterclass or on a consultation soon. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Wait, before you go, have you checked out my free class? It's all about the steps you need to take if you want to build wealth without going on a strict budget. To sign up, simply go to jermainefoley.com/wealth class. That's Jermaine with a G, Foley.com/wealth class. See you in there.